Alrighty, let's go ahead and get on in here. Howdy y'all, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV stream. It's great to be back. I am loving the patch changes so far. I was not expecting the servers to be up as early as they were, so I scheduled this quite a bit later than they actually went up. So I've been just exploring and testing a few things out. As you can see, I got my adventure plate all set up and everything. Ran a couple trust dungeons, did quite a bit with the crystalline conflict. Got my new PvP rapier with its little bows. I really love it. So many great things in this patch already. I'm excited to jump into the MSQ with you guys. I guess the Alliance raid is tied to the MSQ, so we'll be probably doing that at some point. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and hold off for a couple of hours. I wanted to, you know, get cleaned up and all of that good stuff so we could have a good time here. I'll probably be streaming pretty much until the end of the MSQ at this point. I usually burn through these in a day. I hope you guys are having a great time and really enjoying the patch so far. However you're enjoying it, whether it's the MSQ, doing PvP stuff, exploring all the old content that got revamped, it's pretty impressive. And at 5 gigs, it probably should be. But yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get on in here. I want to go ahead and get started and get ready for some new adventures. I'm pretty excited for all of this. Obviously, no one really knows what's going to happen with the start of a new frontier. But yeah, it's been so long since I've seriously played this, and I really am glad to be back. It's still my favorite game by far. Ooh, and a surprise reward. Ira, how lovely to see you. If you're not in too much of a rush, I was about to make a pot of tea. Would you like a cup? Take a seat then, and I'll find us something to nibble on as well. Oh, Tataru. Always so pleasant. I'm excited for her adventure. I think that's coming in a couple of patches. I know it's not this one. They're doing Hildebrand in like 6.15 or something like that. Alright. Cutscene? Voiced, maybe? Hopefully?
It's so much quieter these days without everyone around. Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand. I have my sources, and I know that each and every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your endeavors.
Yeah, I've been playing Gundam.
Meanwhile, I'm left with a surplus of free time and the question of how to make the most of it. What about you? Any plans for the immediate future?
I feel like this would be super lonely for her. She's just like all alone. None of the others are there. She's walking the empty halls. Brand new adventure, of course. Something exciting.
Traveling to the edge of existence and back wasn't enough? Well, if that's the case, I might have a suggestion for you.
Give me treasure to hunt.
You fought bravely and selflessly, helping those in need and saving our star from unimaginable threats. For your deeds, you've been hailed as the champion of Eorzea and a host of other incredible things. But why not put those titles aside for a while? Acquit yourself as a simple adventurer again, and travel the world in search of wonder.
Fine by me. Eternal treasure hunter. The Tomb Raider, if you will.
Oh, that's the spirit. I can feel from here the blazing fire that just lit in your belly. Now, all you need is a destination.
Take me away, Tataru.
If you're having trouble deciding, just leave it to me. Thavner, that's where you should go next.
Oh, but I've already been there.
You were able to squeeze in a proper tour of Rad's at Han the last time you were there. What with the burning skies and rampaging monsters and so forth. And I'm sure Ritra would be pleased to see you.
Yeah, I'd like to see him too. Sure, him and Estinian are just palling around.
The Empire's presence in the region was always a deterrent to exploration. So if you've a mind to sail that sea, now's your chance.
Alrighty.
Just think of all the new experiences you could have.
Will do. Aww.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty?
Ooh.
As the bearer of Azem's crystal, you may consider your duty to see at least that much.
So we're just gonna go down the list of all the places he mentioned? I'm fine with that.
Oh, I know that look. That's an adventurer ready to take on the world. In anticipation of an occasion like this, I was planning to gift you a new set of traveling clothes, but it's still a work in progress.
Ooh. Are we already getting another set of new clothes?
Shouldn't take much longer now, though, so sit tight and I'll have the last few bits sewn up before you can finish another cup of tea.
You are the best, Tataru. She just keeps it with her at all times. Okay.
In here and trim in there, knot the threads with love and care.
Seems like something she'd do.
Just a little more to go. I'm sure you're still brimming with excitement.
And a sheep. Okay.
I am one with the needle. See how the fabric surrenders to my whims.
And here she was searching for a job that whole
Don't
time.
worry. I'll make sure the lining has plenty of pockets for all your little treasures. I swear adventurers are worse than children when it comes to hoarding every feather and leaf and animal hide they come across.
This upsets me. This upsets me on a deep and primal level. They know us too well. I have, what, 10 slots left in my bag? I should clear it out, but we all know that's not going to happen.
Oh, we mustn't forget the waterproofing. Gods forbid you forget to disrobe before plunging into the sea, or a river, or a piping hot bath.
Can't remember where that is. Is that the churning mists? One of the heavens words. Hey, title card. There we go. So we are off on another adventure with new villains, new friends, some old friends. Same old YouTube. Gonna adjust the sound a little bit. I know I've got all these semi trucks passing by, so might be hearing the rumble in the background.
Ah, you're awake. My apologies. I do get a little carried away with my sewing. seem awfully cheerful. Pleasant dream? Or are you just looking forward to the next chapter of your grand saga?
I'm tired, Tataru.
Either way, I promise to provide you with new apparel, and so I shall. If you'll accompany me to the Diamond Forge, we can put the finishing touches on your outfit. Shall we?
Okay. Excited to see what she conjures up this time. I wasn't a huge fan of the Shadowbringer's outfit, but the others have been really nice. And away we go. First quest of a new era. Let's see, Diamond Forge. Guessing that's out here. Here we go, turn it up a bit. Okay, is she in here? Yes. Follow the trail of people. I was really surprised because, you know, obviously I'm on Balmung, but going into Wolf's Den to check out the new PvP stuff, I've never seen it that busy there. New mode is really fun. Matches last like 2-3 minutes tops. It's very easy to level up the little battle pass thing that they have for it. Okay. Oh, she already has my measurements at least. Let's see how it looks on the mannequin. Oh, that's cute. Very much an adventurer. I like it. Even has the earring. I think that might actually be one of my favorites. I think I like it a little bit more than the formal attire that she had. Yeah, it definitely says adventurer. Reminds me of the adventures might gather. Okay. Famous hero and wanderer. Forever did she purchase those stylish yet practical garments. And before you know it, hordes of new customers will be climbing over each other to place orders. Aw, she's starting her boutique. That's cool. Hear it now, the merry clink clink of gil overflowing from my coffers. Yeah, I really like that. Can you dye it? Oh, you can. Yeah, it reminds me of the Gleaner outfits from earlier in the expansion. Yeah, that's cute. I don't know if it's quite enough for me to take off my red mage gear, because that's kind of me, but I do really like that a lot. And I don't ever remember them, like, having accessories as part of it, too. That's cool. Burgeoning merchant empires aside, you must be excited to start a new fresh chapter of your life. New places to go, new people to meet. I often wonder how you remember all your experiences and exploits without taking at least a few notes. Oh, maybe you should start doing just that. You never know when some odd past detail might become relevant. They breaking the fourth wall a bit. Or if one day you'll take a blow to the head and forget the better part of the past decade. Something to keep in mind in any case. Probably their way of just reminding you of the, yeah, there you go, the Unending Codex that's got the cool scrolls. Your official adventure journal. And speaking of the final days, I'm probably not going to do it on stream today, but I am going to try the new EX at some point this week. And as usual, I will try and put out a new episode of Talking the Red to go with it. We'll see how long it takes to get it down. The former receptionist and sometimes intelligence gatherer of the Scions allow me to offer you a word of advice. Do not expect juicy rumors to simply fall into your lap. Adventurers rely on gossip, and the best places to pick up information are taverns and markets. At present, you only have a broad destination in mind. When you arrive in Thavnir, I suggest you explore the options at Merid's Main, the finest drinking establishment in Rodzadhan. Charm the employees, and they'll not only point you in the direction of the local tale-tellers, but also share with you the tricks for loosening their tongues. I really must be getting back to running my boutique. Enjoy the journey, Kyra, and may fair fortune find you. Alright. Let's see what Vritra's been up to. Him and our boy. Or if Graha's with him or anything. It'd be kind of cool if like each patch focused on a different Scion that you go and meet up with. I could see that being a way to do it. There we go. One of the small things that they added that was very cool is if you have a quest with multiple objectives, it now shows all of the possible locations on the map, so you don't have to like right click and do the thing again. Very nice. Very nice little quality of life change. Look to Merit's Main. Hello, I did not recognize you at first. Are you here alone? Let me find you a table. So, got any quests? Just getting right to it, okay. Ruins beneath the bounty. Would you be speaking of the Sunken treasure vault? We have one regular, a historian in fact, who could tell you all about it. How convenient. And there he is, Professor Jolene. I thought I saw him come in. Although a somewhat private sort, the professor is quick to befriend those who share his fondness for the Mahane's unique beverages. Offer him any drink from our selection, and he should happily share everything he knows about the vault you seek, and a few other odd bits besides. Whatever you buy from him is on the house, by the way. If Merit found out I took coin from Thavnir's savior, she would be scrubbing pots. She would have me scrubbing pots for a week. Yeah, it's hard being famous sometimes. Yes. The following event cannot be skipped. One of those things where we have to like sit down and meet everyone that comes up. And what may I do for you, my Eorzean friend? Oh, just a friendly chat. How about a drink? Well, I certainly wouldn't say no to a drink freely offered. That's how you get them. We are one of Merit's finest. Enjoy. Oh, lovely bottoms up. Thirsty bugger. It was very kind of you, miss, but I know when I'm being softened up. What is it that you want from me? She's just standing there looking. And chasing down that old tale, are you? It does seem to appeal to the adventurous at heart. Now, where to begin? Might I assume you've heard of the Alzadal? He was Khan of the Ori tribe, which sailed to Thavnir from the mainland, and a key figure in the history of Rodzadhan. Yeah. Ooh, treasure. His decision to aid the Arcasadara is what ultimately won them the war against the Gajasura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundation for this thriving city-state. The truly fascinating stories, however, concern his grandson, Alzadal III, who is known for his deeds as satrap in Radzatan's earlier days. Some attest that this man traveled to another world entirely and returned with glittering riches. Others that he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of the first brood. I know that worm. And then there is the tale of the Sunken Vault, the one you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Alzadal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Radzatan, folk would remember that tale of hidden treasure. Hardy souls would set out to claim their fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? Apologies, I have a slight tickle in... Oh, my cup appears to be empty. I mean, they're free for me. I can keep going all night, buddy. I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. And another one. Yeah, you lucked out, old man. Meeting the hero of Aetheris. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, those who did return from seeking the treasure vault refused, I mean flatly refused, to speak of what they saw. Dangers within? Did this discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only served to feed the legend, and the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something Azama was saying. Azama is a fellow connoisseur of spirituous potables. Yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he set sail, I hear, but he did have... no, I can say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my words sent you to their death, I could never live with myself. I'm no stranger. Seen my fair share, saved the universe and all. Is that so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale then. What manner of dangers have you faced? Well, where to start? The very edge of existence. For anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it, but I recognize you now. You're the hero of the final days. A drink. I need another drink to settle my nerves. Milil, more of the same, if you please. As you wish, but this one is on your coin, Professor. Trust me, man. If you get to my age, just one of those is enough. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more. This friend of Azama's, he was desperate to buy a treasure map, one which showed the way of the entrance of the vault. Seems he could only get it from some merchant. What's his name? Forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my new best friend. Malil, more drinks. Signal for water. I gotta be a bro. Look out for your buddies. Been there more than a few times. Now he's got his head on straight. My head was certainly thank you in the morning. Seem to have overindulged. I am put in mind of the words of the master Jalzan. Be wary of how much of the drink you swallow, lest it swallow you. Forgive me, I will subject you to no more of these unseemly antics. You want to speak with Azama? Well, as I said, we share a taste for the Maine's fine spirits. He probably came in as we were talking. Wish you fortune in finding your fortune. Find out more, you will need to locate the man by the name of Azama. Okay. And by locate, just follow the blue names everywhere. It's the way it goes. Yes, I am Azama, and who might you be? All true, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search of Alzadal's legacy, and I've been watching for his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. And that look in his eyes, I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Alzadal III's otherworldly horde, and his ambition would not be denied. I see it in you too, that appetite for the mysterious and the unknown, but I'll not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of that endeavor. So I will tell you what my friend told me, how he convinced a merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems this merchant, one Zasal, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route, but my friend's purse was too light for its exorbitant price. With what meager wealth he had, he instead paid to learn that there are ruins on the small island somewhere in the Bounty, and within those ruins hides the path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on sinking Alzadal's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home. Sorry about that, bro. That sucks. That's kind of rough.
Please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness?
Ragged waif, okay.
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Alzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy?
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the Bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. Your scrawny-eyed had never returned with that treasure alive.
So why doesn't he just go for it?
Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim?
I mean, I'm not one to be talking about voice acting, but it is seems to have Grown about 12 years right there.
How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map. Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoards they stand to uncover.
And he's in on it. Yeah, it's the old bait and switch. Make him, he's a plant. He's a plant. Hauling it. Oh. And we know how Estinian is with money, so this should go well.
A man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
Oh no. Estinian, don't fall for it.
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
Tara would have some words.
Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure.
I like how he still has like his armor on underneath the robes. I would expect nothing less.
But why Thavner of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I've fleeced one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
Yeah. So maybe he's not a plant. Kind of surprising. I expected him to be in on it.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure. Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavner what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove. Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits.
Oh yeah, I forgot that his mom is now one of the turn-ins.
Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent. Whether the map leads us to the vault or not.
We'll find out one way or the other.
You are coming along, yes?
Oh yeah. Wouldn't be much of a patch if we didn't.
thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
And they got the fishing music. I am prepared. I did appreciate that they took the time to add new fishing animations. I know. We can make it better. Is he gonna stow away, maybe? You will recall I spoke of visiting Thavnir at Vitra's request. Well, he finally invited me to a feast and made his proposal once I was too full of Hannish delights to refuse. He wished me to train in the Radiant Host and lance work, but that is a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant or a trawler with ship fit to sail the open seas. Matsya is a fish. Oh, Matsya, yeah. Could head to Akiali and see if he can help us. I will gladly go visit Matsya again. And does this, I'm guessing, open up the tribe? I don't know if they're a battle tribe or a crafting tribe. I'm so far behind. That's like one aspect of the game that like I just never got around to really doing. I did all of the crafting tribes, but I've never done any of the really any of the battle ones. And I'd like to, because they give some pretty decent rewards. Obviously got the mounts, but then they also give you access to like crafting materials and stuff that are sometimes kind of hard to come by. My friends, what brings you to our humble village? Oh, you know, seeking vaunted fortunes and all that jazz. You need a seaworthy vessel to seek these ruins. Considering it was your deeds which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favor. Wait here and I will have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. Hooray! Have you noticed our little shadow? He's been following us since we left the city. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Ah! It is you. Do you know how far out of the way we walked so that you'd not cross paths with some wild beast? Aw, so thoughtful of him. I'm sorry, sir, but aren't you the heroes who saved Thavnir? I know you are. I know you are. And I've gone and cheated you. I work with Zeshal, you see, the map merchant. It was my job to play the pleading orphan and convince the crowd his wares are worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done, and I beg your forgiveness. If not for you, my sister and I never would have, well, we'd be... Enough. I know your game, and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out, for my friend here was seeking those very ruins. Pat. You were kind to overlook the wrong I have done you, but there is more you need to know. What is it, boy? The map you bought is very real, as is the island it shows. I overheard Zeshal selling the information to another customer. He told that man where he needed to search about the ruins, about the vault, about everything. Then the man sailed out to find his fortune, never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us, there is little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of... Yeah. Now you've got him, made him cry. We'll do that one. We'll do the comedy option. Make Estinian feel bad. This is not my intention. No, very well. Assuming we do find this treasure hoard, it may prove wise to have more hands along for the carrying. Any ideas on whom to approach? The signs have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. I've got Matsia. Who is around? Who would gladly come along? Lord Alphino and his sister. Were they not bound for Garlemald? They have far more important matters to attend to than delving for trinkets. Those two are back in Charlian, I think. Cryo may have her hands full rebuilding the students, but if you reach out to Graha, he would surely leap at the invitation. Will that set your mind at ease? Yes, if a man is as strong as you. Is he, though? Strong? No. Yeah, yeah. He's a scion, we'll put it that way. What is your name, boy? Murad, sir. Well, Murad, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you truly wish to keep your sister safe. I'm not proud of what I do. Me neither, kid. That doesn't get better. But what choice do I have? We need to eat, and everyone's too busy rebuilding their own lives to bother with two grubby orphans. Wait, boy. I didn't take this roundabout road just to see you end up in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Estinian. I shall leave you to recruit Graha. He'll appreciate the invitation as that much more, I'm sure. As I recall, he was based at the Annex. Someone there ought to be able to point you in the right direction. Now let's be off too, Murad. Do me a favor and don't stray off the path. Alright, to the Baldesian Annex. And not having Revenant's Toll at the very bottom of the list has really been messing me up this whole X-Pack. Oh, I forgot that there is a Ethernet there. There we go. You know, so far I like the setup. You know, just bringing it back to Earth and nice chill adventure. Find some treasure. Find a vault. Oh, Ojika Sunjika. Guess I have to talk to them outside. Kind of odd, but okay. There you go. It is. Welcome back. The main hall with Mr. Scryle. They've been holed up there for days. By all means, go and give them an excuse to take a break.
Ojika, good man.
Speaking of, did you guys end up watching the second season of Bridgerton with him in it?
Would you be so kind as to...
Well, hello.
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
Slow and steady. Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities.
I got something in my eye. I got a haircut the other day and they didn't cut it short enough, so it's like still poking me.
We located several accounts in the archives of Numenon and added them to the collection we recovered from the Isle of Fowl.
And judging by the progress we've made thus far, sorting this pile will keep us occupied for days to come. But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around? The treasure vault of Alzadal III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition. I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task. On the subject of which, I had hoped to ask for your assistance.
Oh?
Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned. You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
I'm sure. Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already. Have you asked anyone else to come along?
Not yet.
Then might I suggest we invite your Stola?
Oh. Well, I guess she's got nothing going on.
Ever since the Scions disbanded, she spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Google Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlian the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenor. Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe your Stola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say. Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
Wait, before you go. I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger. He sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like.
How convenient.
From what I can gather, the Loperites are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things.
Oh no. Here. Surely that'll go well.
So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
None can deny the benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with your Stola.
Good thing, my dude.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
There's a picture of
Then it's off to the library.
Okay. Yeah, there's a picture of Garuda up there on the wall. Yeah, as I was about to say, I don't know if you watched the second season of Bridgerton. I binged it all in like a night. Oh no, I like it. Yeah, like not even 10 minutes in. And, whoa. Okay, all those minions. Like 10 minutes into the show and there's Graha. Just bearing his whole ass. There you go. Where is she? Okay, there we go. I'm glad that he's getting those major roles though. I really like Jonathan Bailey quite a bit. And yeah, Bridgerton is kind of his big breakout. I don't know how many people outside of us know know him from Final Fantasy, even though it's probably one of his more well-known roles to us. And a fantastic role at that. But yeah, it was good seeing him as the main character in the second season of Bridgerton. I'm sorry, this is I really can't see right now. I might have to take a break for a second and see if maybe I got an eyelash or something. All right, what are you up to, Y'shtola? You coming with? Oh, okay. Oh, sleeping.
I've never known Y'shtola to doze off in the middle of research before.
Close my eyes for one moment.
I'm doing some cool stuff with the ear animations that I've never seen before.
How long have you two been here?
It's cool.
Nor did I want to fall asleep. I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me.
I mean, same, except it's just playing video games. It's kind of like work, right? What would I call this?
As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runar, but 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me? Al-Zadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries, as if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Akyali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
Talisman. I don't recognize that at all. Yeah. Random mammoth. Alright. Wow, you stole a rude. Didn't even pick up after herself. Alright. Alright, so where was Talisman again? We're gonna get to see Living Way again? They all hanging out down here? Down we go. Kinda weird that we have to fill all the unending codex out again, though. Maybe just to give people time to read it? There we go. What are you up to, Oriange?
Our illustrious champion.
And kind of noticed and
Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure.
Talking with quite a few others that have also kind of noticed that they seem to have already started doing some of the back-end work on a lot of the graphic updates, like the lighting and all of that stuff. Seems quite a bit more intricate, or at least better rendered than it used to be. I mean, this looks fantastic back here. Could still use a little bit with the anti-aliasing and stuff, but yeah, this, quite a few of us noticed the water looks quite a bit better now in a lot of different places, so yeah, whatever they're doing to get ready for 7.0, they are already starting work on it, I guess.
I am told a new expedition is in the offing.
That it is. Now, what's Thancred up to?
He left to attend to some personal errand, but should be returning ere long.
Personal errand?
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperites had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
You have learned of my predicament from Mistress Kryl. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperites now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts.
Well, I mean, when you got a whole moon.
Their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon? So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation.
I still need to do the new treasure vault too. I've heard it's really fun.
But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos?
Well, they give you a first-hand look at a treasure vault.
Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation. long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Aye. Though I cherish the Scion's accomplishments, 'tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but you know, I have to do this every week for a little cat in Idleshire. Could help me out with those. That'd be nice.
King Estinian, we number 5 now, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
All
I
right.
agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
Okay.
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross.
Former mentor.
Having an astrologian beside you on the road is surprisingly convenient. And it doesn't hurt that he's making strides with his light-hearted banter. In any case, as we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather? Beneath the waters of the Bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loporrits.
Yeah, man, it's just work.
Of course. And if you have a Estinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
I mean, if you really want to go.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, it is best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
So he's going back to Shirogane, huh?
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
So I wonder if the head back there. Yeah, I wonder if the ruins are going to be the dungeon. Should be fun. It's either got to be the dungeon or it leads into the Alliance raid. The Alliance raid is part of the MSQ this time. It's been a while since that's happened, but yeah, you have to unlock it like pretty late into the game. Yeah. Or it could be both. Could be a dungeon that leads into learning about the 12. I'm curious. Want to see where this goes. With the entire survey party. I like how Thinker's like, we can't have too many of us. Wouldn't look good. And he's like, really the only one. Okay, Monty's boat is sturdy enough to carry us all. Yeah, I guess Alfie and Alizé, but If we ask, they'd come around. What he means is, we are grateful for the use of one of your precious fishing vessels. Here to steer clear of the reefs and the shallows there. I will keep an eye out. I don't really need the food, and make more of that later if I need. It's intrigued by the legend of Ulzadal. That looks like a dungeon. Ulzadal III. I confess I am somewhat embarrassed by the tale of his journey to another world escape my notice. Could it be more than simple folklore? And what of the treasure he supposedly brought back? The undersea vault may hold relics from another reflection. Should temper our expectations. The map doth promise ruins, but beyond that we know not what we will find. Not until we find it, aye. So let us dispense with the conjecture and set sail for the vault. Will do. Can't wait for this to hit vinyl. I'm really excited to add that to the collection of the LP box. I hope they do make another one that has that art style and everything on it. I think that'll be pretty cool. I need to find a nice display for them. All right, well, let's do it. I'm not wasting any time. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Ugh. It definitely feels a lot more grounded, which is nice. I mean, it's kind of odd because on one hand I do like realize that this is, oh hey, we're kicking off another story now after 10 years, right? But they've always been so good with kind of breaking things up in between the big moments that it really doesn't feel like the start of a new story. It just kind of feels like, you know, some more of the side quests in between the big moments of a patch. But I have a feeling it's going to lead to some pretty cool places. We'll see what the mysterious shadow figure was up to. New villain. Maybe we'll just find out that Emmett and everyone were just robots. Yeah. Maybe that's where it's gonna go. Maybe Xenos was just a robot and he was actually a good guy the whole time. It was just, you know, corrupted by something and, yeah, trying to stop an even bigger threat. Oh yeah, I guess they are going to be doing that soon, aren't they? What is the 16th, I think? 16th or the 19th, I can't remember which date. At this point, I don't even care. I'm already seeing people saying that Dragonflight might bring them back. I'm like, why are you giving them money, man? There's so many other great games out there you can be playing. Alright. New dungeon. I'm excited. It's been a while. Oh. I like the music already. I like that it has all of us looking at the map when we first get in. That's cool. Like her glam quite a bit. Now the hard part. Trying to remember how to play Red Mage. I spent so much time playing other games that I haven't really played much in the MMO realm for probably 2 months now. I try to pop back in here just to level my warrior and stuff, but obviously that's not a... That doesn't help me here. Ooh, and we get the bonus tomes because we're all new. Nice. Yeah, I get back into the mindset, man. Doing the EX later this week's gonna be rough. Might have to hop back into Zodiac or something like that just to try and get back into the swing of it, you know? Here we go. We've got to remember all my keybinds. Okay. I'm getting back into the swing of it a little bit. Kind of like riding a bike. It doesn't really take all that long to remember it again. More ball, but purple. Alright, first boss. Oh, and jellyfish. Man, between this and Elden Ring, I'm having a time with some jellies. Alright, so it looks like he's got a hot and cold mechanic of some kind. Big wave. Tentacle dig. Okay. I don't know if I need to go. Okay. Ah, I see. You just gotta follow it. Go over here. It doesn't seem too bad if that's his main mechanic. Toxic Foundation, okay. Nice rescue, but I have no idea what that mechanic was. Okay. Okay. There we go. Not bad. Expected it to be tuned a little bit higher, but okay. Sure. Some Sonic Adventure 2 ass looking mechanics there. Glyph of Passage. Oh, cool. So we are in the vault. Ooh. Recognize Brazen Thief. You will proceed no further. Alright, and the doorway's gone now. Alright, I'm just trying to figure it all out. There you go. Doesn't help that I've been up a while at this point. I tried to sleep pretty well yesterday, but we had some pretty massive storms come in and literally had lightning strike like literally right across the street from us. So that woke me up. Okay. Yeah, I've been up since like 10 o'clock yesterday or something like that. Just gamer things. Okay. Okay, so you gotta kill the rampart or just, I guess, keep summoning stuff. Oh yeah, and I might stream this later on too. But I finally, I don't know why it took me this long, but I finally got on the boat and bought Vampire Survivors, so I think that might be a nice fun, like, chill stream at some point. Sometime later this week. But for right now, it's going to be all Final Fantasy for a while. Alright, and another grid boss. What's he gonna do? Okay, articulated bits. Okay. Come over here to this one. Yeah, they're gonna move, It looks kind of cool, but it's going to take me a little bit to figure out the actual mechanics here. Didn't really get a good look at what the dots were trying to say. Okay. Here maybe? Nope. Okay. I guess that was just a directional. Here as I can tell. Some of them did have dots above them earlier, and I guess that might have been for the second order. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of rough. Okay, and now we do it again. Okay. It's just a lot to take in trying to find two number ones at once. Yeah, we're used to doing it on our own all the time, but finding multiples? Okay. I see you. There you go. Not too bad. I think that was maybe even a little bit easier than the first one. I don't even know what my just because I had more time to look at what all was going on, you know? I'm just greeting it all. That's some Grand Company seals. That's some gotcha boxes. Okay. Okay. Well, we found treasure of some kind. This is one of those things that maybe a good idea to do it with a trust, so just so you can kind of go through and really kind of take it all in. I'm so busy, like, focused on the mechanics and stuff when I'm running with a group that I don't really get a chance to really take in the implications of everything I'm looking at. Like, yeah, we're in the vault, and we just spent, you know, 3-4 quests trying to get to this point. It exists. Yeah. I don't even really know what the high gear cap is right now. I mean, I know what the cap is, but what would be considered like good? Obviously, I bounced out before P3S or so. So I'm guessing anything after that. I'm pretty happy with what I've got. I'm what, 589? Yeah, that's fine. Be okay. Okay. We're fighting a bunch of ribbons. It's interesting. It's a cool design. I like it. The Omaru Polka boss. Earrings. Nah, I'll just read it. Cool. Let's roll. Oh, and he's got spikes on the floor. Okay. Gonna avoid those as best as I can. Spins. Oh, this is the... Yeah, this is the spinny one from the... I don't know how to control... Oh, okay. That's cool. That's a really cool mechanic. I have no idea how they expected anyone to figure out how to do it, but very cool mechanic. Yeah, this was from the trailer. Wild Weave. Okay. I missed the tell for what that was, but that's all right. Rotary Gale. Okay. I have to imagine he'll do the spin at least one more time. Oh, and you gotta dodge one of those too. Okay. Too late. Too late. Too late. This is kind of hard to control. It's very fun, but wow, that takes some planning. Billowing bolts. They're a billowing. Okay, that was fun. That's a fun fight. Definitely gonna take a couple tries to really get the hang of it, but very cool mechanic. And calm the healer. I'm gonna look at it at least. Or not. Try on. That's very pillowy. Looks like you're wearing like a mantle of snow. It's cool. 3 comms. Okay. I don't know how. Sorry. On my cord. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go through these
What have we here?
sound cards like candy with how much I step on them and stuff. What do we have here?
Like a Hunnish alchemical furnace in design.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
Oh, sorry.
Stop! You mustn't touch it.
Ah. Tell us what you know, Rita.
Vritra! Oh, my apologies. Should I continue calling you Varshan?
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret. Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our union. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters.
Well, I have.
Could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the truth.
Great Vritra, might we beseech thee to explain the nature of this strange contrivance?
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away.
Okay. Comedy option. Now that the world is saved, I'm going full ham on blaming everyone else.
You and I will speak later.
Okay, that was worth it.
Not the time for frivolity, my friend. Not the time.
It's always the time.
This something of which thou speakest, might it be some manner of threat?
I mean, you want to let it out, we can beat it up for you.
Perhaps I should simply show you.
Okay. That was easy. The void? A void portal? Maybe? No, she's getting ideas.
I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
No, my friend. Small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
Okay, but how about all that other stuff you had back there? You doing anything with it? It's the same thing in practice in the sense that both allow passage between the source and the 13th. The difference in terminology refers to the circumstances of their creation. A fissure is an incidental tear in the fabric between worlds, whereas a void gate is the product of deliberate action. I suspect this is the latter, judging by the elaborate mechanism put in place to control it. We think that our search for material riches would lead us to this priceless discovery. That swirling emptiness, it put me in mind of old friends, not to mention old foes. Interesting. I'm gonna adjust this a bit. Here we go.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory. An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Mericidia. The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors.
Okay.
With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities. In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void. Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Scent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ashdaya.
Yeah, the one that kind of shunned the world, right?
We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
Hey.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Allagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. Until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radzat Han was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used a simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her. What I found was a host of void scent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Razathan and abandoning your sister. And you chose the latter.
'Twas not that thy siblings scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness.
Hero has turned purple.
As did I. Were it not for Une and Doga, or Nero for that matter, we might never have made it home. Do you remember what happened to Nero? How his wounds allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether? Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late. And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection.
I mean, we ain't doing anything.
So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course. I wish only to forget the rest.
Okay. So they're kind of laying it out a lot earlier than I expected. Thought we'd go on like a couple adventures and, you know, get some treasure. Didn't expect we'd lead into this already, but yeah. I think it's kind of where a lot of us kind of expected it to start going, but yeah, just way earlier. This would normally be like 6 point 6.4 or maybe even late 6.3 stuff, you know? Also manipulated as one mighty gate. Astonishing. Is there any chance I could learn more of how this feat was accomplished? I'll tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the guardians you so handedly destroyed. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. Yeah, sorry about that, bro. We didn't know. My apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we would be happy to offer our assistance. That will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Rodzathan. I like the music. Quite a bit. Oh, that was a fun dungeon. But yeah, I really didn't expect them to lead into that early. Kind of cool though. I'm kind of curious to see where the rest of it's gonna lead us. How does the 12 come into all of this? I mean, obviously we're gonna probably put this on the back burner. You know, Vritra doesn't want us dealing with it for now. It'll take a couple patches to get him turned around, so maybe we go back and Tataru's like, hey, remember this other thing Emmett mentioned? I promise we will discuss the Void Gate further, but first I must attend to the matter of the Vault Sentinels. Oh, weird. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Kapikulu has been reduced to so much scrap. About that. Please bring a new one out of the storage and see that it is conveyed to its post along with some few lesser constructs. Was the tomb robbers? Friends born of the Tower of Zot? Why, the sisters do not tell me those blasphemy yet roams free. Just be cool. Just be cool, guys. just an exercise. Don't worry about it. Surely it isn't you who is. Oh. Oh well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Now, I believe you had questions. Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. It is still functional, yes? Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warded with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. Such effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. That said, in its current state, it would only admit the lowliest of void scent, and from this side, no man would be able to pass through. No man? I should think Alpha Node would fit, given a firm enough push. Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul in transit. And yet you succeeded in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your simulacrum to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemist, I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead I begged them devise a means to control it. A tale as old as time. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for Ajaha. Sorry, I'm bad with pronouncing Indian names. Ajaha, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus, the gate has lain dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken and the doorway severed from its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void synth, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the bounty gate. Mayhap you could resume the search for your sister. As I have already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I had meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? Boredom, mostly. I won't blame Estinian this time. I've already caused enough grief. As you have seen, the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real, if not its rumored origin, but I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little. By the time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering. And we are of one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? Uh-oh, Yashtola's thinking. Could be trouble. Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. Would that I could join thee in thy study, but the Loporits will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave. That's an awful Urianger. Sorry. I'm sorry you had to watch that. I must be off to Charlian as well. Mr. Scryle was eager to speak with you about that request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you are able. Farewell for now. We can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. Myths of the Realm. Nice. I'll do that here, and once I finish up with the main stuff. Difficult part in all this will be deciding how best to put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Think of your employment as recompense. Serve me as guest advisors, and I will consider the broken constructs paid for in full. Ira and I are in this together. I will follow her example. Oh, hey. Triple Triad card. Nice. Oh, that's right. I need to go buy my pod mount, too. Looks voidy. Could it be Xanda? That's my first thought. Hmm. Could be Neo X Death again, could it? Wouldn't think it would be, but hmm. I sensed a breaching of the gate, but it was not instigated on this side. It was thrown open from the other. I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes. But such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have waited for nigh on 1,000 years. We dare not let it slip our grasp. Yet we must not underestimate she who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by a covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Bah, let her come. I will drown the world and watch this fleshling gasp for breath in her final moments. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath this sunless sky. Remember why we cede not our will to fight. This time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. Interesting. It's entirely possible other people are like flipping out right now, but there's still a lot of Final Fantasies I haven't played, so I don't recognize the design. Not right off, anyways. Shall we begin? If we were to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit most from monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the Satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. To visit Akyali and Yedlamad, speak with Madsi and his people, and listen to their grievances. Stini and I beg you to do the same at Palaka Stand. I will be conducting my own inquiries at the Giant Skull grounds. Can reconvene at Megaduta. Will do. What's Matsu want? What can we do for our buddy? A bigger fishing boat? I kind of thought that was the end of the patch, but all right. I mean, obviously, got to go back to Tataru and finish up there, but yeah, that seemed very much like a hey, we're kind of done. Oh, Kyra, I was so glad to see you return unharmed. You finished with the boat then? Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kozal's loss hit us the hardest. I'm trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild our lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can. Okay. So, giving other people money so they can buy fish and be a good start. Enticing buyers one way or the other. Alright, what do you need? What you got, buddy? Welcome, traveler. This is your first visit to Thabnir. You can bet my special Amarylossi is you again. Yeah, you gave us that whole spiel when we first got here. Times are harsh, my friend. The world may no longer be on fire, but we are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sister, spare me. We might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices. I tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps on the street. Affairs of the port, well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger has passed, but no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Cazal and his consortium are still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. And that was a man who got things done. God rest his soul. Spoken with the key figures, okay. Alright, so we need the consortium back. That's the goal, huh? Someone to lead it? But who to lead it? I like Matsuya, but I don't know if he really wants to run the whole shebang. Oh yeah, trombone guy. Trombone guy's just living it up. Now my advisor's return. I just made it back myself. You retain this vessel now that your true form is known. You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending on the sky can be startling, to say the least. And there are a few places I can enter comfortably without the risk of flattening some cart or stall. Just dragon problems. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Palaka's stand were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with some assistance from Yedlamad. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like, and I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs for the most part. Palaka's stand has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard the good news and bad. Quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant skull to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Thavnir has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade that we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Akyale and Yedlamad? I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Why, I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yedlamad. I'm reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beast sunk their vessel. Variations of the same tragic tale repeated over and over, so many lives lost. Quiet pondering. Quiet reflection. Enough grief to drown in that if we let ourselves be overcome, but we will not. We'll consider the perspectives you've brought me and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. I would like you to be in attendance when I announce a proposal to my assembled functionaries. You have in mind join the Alliance, perhaps?
I thank you for your attendance. Precisely. The treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamar. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Karazar's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. The simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come.
It's interesting he's still hurt. You'd think that maybe they would redo his model at some point so he's not all beat up from giving us his scales. You gotta start a school.
See now other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
So you're asking me? Man, that's way above my pay grade. I just beat shit up, man. I do like the orphanage. That's how we did it. Oh, I'm not sure. Not sure if pudding is the best best diet.
Of course, we can draw on trading profits to build a new institution. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
Man, they're just having me make all the decisions.
A fitting candidate. Kalzar should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
Aye aye. Fist bump. Turban.
This bodes well
All
for
right.
that boy. Narad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
And everything reminds him of Ishgard. Oh. Alright. Well, now that that's done, where to next? Back to Tataru, maybe? Oh, there we go. Bridging the Rift. Thank you for putting forth Kozal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. Just one moment. Checking the patch notes. Forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Y'shtola. Uh-oh. Yes, that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. That was fast. Y'shtola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? Okay. Six. 10 quests, got it. I will go with you. I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Ahawan assumed the office, so they understand what needs to be done. And I am curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish, allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. Okay. Okay. So, in scenario, post and loggers. I've done 2, 4, 6. Wow, this is a long patch. That's surprising. We're to the High Crucible. Okay. It's the main one. At this rate, I might not be able to get the whole thing done, but or at least might need to stretch and get something to eat. Yeah, I'm used to these taking like 3 hours or so. If that. Alright, Y'shtola, what have you found?
Right, here we all are.
Here we are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics.
Okay.
From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them.
That's Allagan music. What are you thinking?
Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first. You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world.
Mm-hmm.
The magic
Bye-bye all the
tore a hole in the
crystals.
walls separating source and shard. and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many voids sent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
Hmm.
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power.
So, do we have to go to the first and have them summon us? Is that where this is leading? Hmm.
To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact.
I love these
Our more
PowerPoints.
powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner. Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first.
Mm-hmm. Whoop. Whoop. There you go.
And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th.
Okay, then they put the soul in the statue, okay.
Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse.
Hmm.
Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No. The danger is too great.
Hmm.
Perhaps. But what some call danger others think of as a
Oh no. Okay. Well, if you insist.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
It's my specialty.
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death.
Murder
What if I
hobo
were to bring
time.
along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness? Well, I imagine my chances would be much improved. Since when were you one for the quiet life? Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Come on, do it. Do it.
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daymir was overseeing the project.
Daymir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made void scent?
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
I assume the Numenon, right?
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves. Go on ahead. I still need to find Merad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Alright. This is where they split apart yet again. Maybe we'll run into Alfie and Alice at some point.
Let us be on our way as well.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Just go with it, man. Just let us do our thing. Alright. Oh boy, one of the accompaniment quests, huh? There we go. I know they changed up a few things with this so that it should be easier. They don't quit following you under certain conditions and all this other stuff that used to be in there. Hmm. Introduce restricted archives. Oh, a lot of fuss. Then we must secure the permission of the forum. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? I know a kindly old professor. Scholar Monishane. He did come to Graw's defense in the inquiry after all, that is true. Is settled. Let's head to the phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. Where am I going? Oh dang, that's like way up there. It said, I think... I'm gonna try it. I might have to come back here in a second, but that's fine. Hey! That works. If I was pressed to name our allies in the forum, Scholar Monahane would be certainly at the top of the list. Hopefully he agrees to aid us with our request. Discuss the studium. I apprenticed to Master Matoya at the age of 7 and labored under her tutelage for a full decade. Never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louisoix took him off the streets, he was put in the care of another Archon, who is a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. I sometimes wonder what my life might have been like if I had pursued studies here instead. Oh, that does sound lovely. Afternoon with friends spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Master Matoya for the world. The dang cave I studied in was about as far from the bright, airy halls of academia as one could get, but it was a wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. Alright. Nice getting a little backstory of Cat Mom. Wait, that's right, he's like way down here. Here we go. Visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scholark, but we were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Numenon's restricted archives. No further forays into the stacks this time, eh? Well, not yet. There's still time if we get turned down. I applaud this newfound sense of propriety. Yet in all this wide world of comparative serenity, what compels you to disturb the vault of forbidden wisdom? Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind by House Demir was laid dormant in Charlene's archive for many centuries. If you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. And to what end, pray tell? To develop a method of traversing the rift for one, that I might keep my word to a distant friend. Sentiment aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I have felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. Yet I want to understand everything, to unravel it down to its very last secret. What scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if grand revelation was the promised reward? Marvelous. An audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoya herself. And after hearing the whys and the wherefores, I for one do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to prevent your request to the forum's consideration. I mean, we saved y'all. I figure at this point, if we wanted to beat up Charlene, we would have. And give us the books or not. Although your petition would be better received if you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Master Fortuno, of course. He can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying of him that having Master Fortuno on our side would tip the balance in our favor. Very well, we will pay a visit to the Levier estate and plead our case. One last thing before you go. I would consider it a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager, if you could see your way to indulging an old man's curiosity. Of course, Scholar, we would be sure to pass on any revelations. It's nice though you can use the Aether right now. It is very, very nice. And cross the whole city without having to worry again. Alright. Now, before I get to this next step, I am going to take a real quick break, so just bear with me for like 10 minutes or so. And then, yeah, I'll be right back. Just get up, stretch, get some to drink, you know, all that good stuff. But yeah, be right back with you. Yeah, my coffee. I think my Keurig is going out again, but that's alright. Love it when it gets coffee grounds like in there. Yeah, it's definitely going out again. It tend to last about 2 years in my experience. Gone through like 3 of them so far. But I do like it. It's so much faster and more convenient. Ah, Mistress Kyra, Mistress Y'shtola, how may I be of service? I'm to speak with Master Fortuno. Is he home by chance? Yes, the master is in residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Thank you, kind sir. I tip my fedora to you. All right. Oh well, Emilians would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. Do you have some matter of import to discuss? I do. Then, pray proceed. You have my fullest attention. Explaining. One of these days they're going to do one of the cutscenes where we actually do go through and explain everything. Gonna throw us off for a loop. Yoshi, mad with power. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholar Monocane was expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you we will not attempt to circumvent the forum's authority again, unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, and why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? For a brother who misses his sister, she was his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds and saved her homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother is given up on thoughts of a reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. This is no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Ooh, that's cold. That's cold. Collections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first should constitute a fair exchange in exchange to our cooperation. Yeah, that we can do. The stories we could tell. Not celebrate just yet. The forum must still be convinced. I add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Baldesian Annex. Yes, I'm probably not going to do, just kind of a heads up, I'm probably not going to do the AR on stream just because I'm getting hungry. I'm going to try pounding out these last couple of quests as best as possible. Yeah, it's definitely a meaty patch. That's for sure. So what did the forum decide? Put it bluntly, Master Matoya has burned some bridges here at Charlie and insulted the earth for good measure. When it became clear that her student was the petitioner in question, well, a few members voiced their discontent. And the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions, you know. Saving the universe kind of has some rewards to it, I guess. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and it was agreed that allowing you enter to the archives is the least we could do in return. I don't act so surprised. It's wonderful news. Thank you for both speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I'm sure you are aware, that permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in your endeavor and bid you good day. Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising, aye, but that very stoicism is exactly what Charlian needed to guide it through not one, but two exoduses. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk in through the door. Our focus will be finding House Demir's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. Me too. You headed directly to the archives from here, I presume? You presume correctly. Did you want to speak with the index page when you arrive? It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help. My pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Let's roll. Whee. Up to the Numenon, I presume. Yes. I was gonna test if I could use mounts with this. Hey, Pudding. What are you doing here? This pudding wasn't needed to stop the final days after all, but I persevered. Once people taste it, they will be happier than they were before the apocalypse started. I just know it. You do your thing, man. I think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist, but yalms away from where you found me napping. If I had known of all's adults the third's exploits sooner, I would have well saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. Lesson I had already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. Anya Scholing guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Yes. Follow me if you would, watch your step, and please note the use of naked flames is discouraged. Has very different implications on Balmung. Like the jazz. Bring it home, Sunken. Ooh, yeah, that's bitter.
If House Demir's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
Alright, well, where to start? Let's start up here. Following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Uashad, 9th Patriarch of House Demir. Well, that was fast. Well, would have looked around a little bit more if I knew it was that easy. There's something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I've flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. Well done, Kyra. I think you found our prize. And then the standard Google music.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
Hey, I know you.
Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations.
Boy, do I know it.
Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate.
Okay.
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism.
I didn't expect deep Atomos lore, but okay.
We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Void Sent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
The hell, man, I still don't understand their mechanics. I just beat on them until they disappear.
And still, House Damia went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves? Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better.
Okay. So are we gonna build one now? Is that where this is going? Much as I would love to start crafting the Atomos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hannish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in her new House Demir project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass our regards to the forum. Message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled, security mode, and okay. Anyone can help us, Nidana can. I say we return to Thavnir and look for her at the Great Work. Will do. Alright, off we go. I've already done the dungeon, so should just be cut scenes from here. And kind of sit back and stretch the legs a bit. Hello, friend. Ola tells me you're pursuing a most fascinating study and that you want me to be a part of it. Odd. No doubt you'll be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Will it now? Hey, the sisters, this is the mark of House Demir. Never even knew such a work existed. Few should. It was sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives, after all. She looks so proud of herself for forgetting that. It was, but that means every word within it is forbidden knowledge. Forbidden tome filled with forbidden research. You should put it right into my unsuspecting hand. That's what my ex said about the Kama Sutra. Alright. Can hardly wait to read it. She didn't say that part, though. Thank the Demir were developed in such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new Makatamos? Say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on a Demir project that had even the redoubtable scholars of Charlian trembling in their sandals. No alchemist of the great work could resist. You're a woman after my own heart. I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big mouth simulacrum once we built it? Ah, there's a secret void gate and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. I feel like we're just like telling everyone. These secrets feel like they don't really stay secrets for very long. The purpose of our man-made Atamos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you would attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly once we finish gathering the components I require. Charlian's markets provided the raw aquaman and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you may need to go farther than the... You need to go no farther than the font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. It would be, if you would be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vreeter to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Will we be about it then? Meet back here anon. Here I am just, fetching water again. Ah, the life of the adventurer. So exciting. So daring. Okay, there we go. Oh man, this pool. Out here. Bad memories here. Oop. Need to pull a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot that they redid the sightseeing log too. That's cool. All right. And back to the great work. I guess I could port there, but save the gill. Gotta maybe look at some new spots for the housing lottery. I'd like to move closer to the beach, but if I can't find anything, don't win the lottery, that's fine. I'm excited to see how it all goes down. I mean, I've been very vocal about the housing stuff for a very long time, so I'm glad it's implemented, and I wish everyone the best of luck. Obviously, the beachfront properties are going to be probably extremely popular. You know, you can enter the lottery now for Ishgard, but we won't see what plots open up from everyone moving and relocating until next week. If any even open at all, we don't really know yet. You have that flask for me. And so this should suffice. Thank you, Kyra. I don't really need any of them, but quick tongue. Void theory. Who I came across, Estinian seemed in need of a diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. Right then, now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. We have need of Matsu's boat again. Not this time. Once Y'shtola informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be ready-made at Akyali. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host, shall we? Another kind of subtle change, but I think the water looks a little better than it used to. Seems a little bluer, and once you get close to it, it seems like they've reworked some of the effects to make it look a little more, I don't really know how to describe it, but more watery. It's like they added more of a texture to the sand underneath it, so it really pops out. I don't know if it's that noticeable here, but it is very, very noticeable on in the housing districts. Looks fantastic in Kugane. Ship is yours to command. Right. Ozdal's legacy, to see the truth of a legend with mine own eyes. All aboard the treasure vault. Let's go. See how this goes south, because surely it will. Feel some voids coming out.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty.
Man.
It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
That's all you really need, huh?
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts?
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
I guess we see if the aether water is corrupted or not. Look meaningfully at Estidian.
Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
You summoning a porksy?
I dislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Water, water, froth and foam!
Okay.
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Ah, Nixies, yeah, that makes sense.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate.
Aw, so she made them, huh? So the boss we fought was one of hers. That's cute.
I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
I'm liking all the Y'shtola history we're getting.
In any case, these two should serve as well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Okay. I'll stand watch.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know. Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void.
Aside from the mysterious dangers, it's definitely a lot more lighthearted so far. I like it. Alright, stand guard.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Hmm. Hmm.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
The poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Hmm.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Hmm. Well, now they're on to us.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Nice. That went well.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the Talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Hmm.
Graha's theory was correct then.
Sounds like a Jaha might still be around.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the Talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
Hmm.
It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source.
More
that was
PowerPoints.
drowned in the
Hell
flood
yeah.
of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Unakalhai's spirit from his final battlefield. But But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion. Silver, the adventurer who traveled with the Warriors of Light. And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns?
Nod.
I see. So Cielo, or rather Silver, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism as Unakalhai. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
And that was the Circus Tower questline, right? I honestly can't remember. It's been a long time since I remember any of those names.
The sunless Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos.
Sounds like work for 6.2.
Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
I like that they're making him such a huge figure. I really like Rita. And it's kind of nice to have dragons without the Dragon Song War going on. Something about like the Cold North, just... I like the Heavensward story, but the aesthetics weren't nearly as cool as Thavnir, in my opinion. I like having Vritra around and kind of making him an important part of this next line. Hopefully we can find his sister. Stinia knows what's up. Once Nadana succeeds in replicating the Makatamos, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours. To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the Void myself. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first. Checking on the lad. Does everyone insist on being so secretive? At least I had a good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the Void's influence for a prolonged period of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? Arlen. Hell yeah, Sid. An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the Void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Rhalgr's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Oh, it sent us right there. Fair enough. And brings you to the Ironworks. We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid, certainly I'll see if he's free for a moment. Pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after meeting in on that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation. Seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface, much as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds, in which case our best bet may is simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. How might we achieve that? You have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound that might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity so as not to impede the talisman's primary function. And suit of armor, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. Only I weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable, we know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. Now the hard part will be ducking Jesse and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. That was easy. I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let us return to the great work and see how Nadana's getting on with the Makatamos. So it sends me here, but it doesn't send me over to the great work. Okay, I see how it is. Making me spend that big money.
Hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless? heedless even, in your determination.
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Celestinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan. You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you, and here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ashdaya nor Radzadhan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnair for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, There may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care, and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
All right. And starting to lead into the next patch. We're almost there. Surprise me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you showed an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Reacher reach this conclusion. And it was worth the gear to good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night and had travelers believing the palace racked by some unnatural storm. Ah. What of your answer, then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage, and the soul-chilling grief he nursed at Ratatosker's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend or an ally. If there is a chance we can spare Reacher from that pain, then we will follow you. Indeed, but perfect for our purpose, I should think. I'd rather not bother the Scions with aught less than the dire threat of the star. Now on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. It would be more convenient had we some manner base camp near to the gate itself. The palace chamber should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduda. Be kind of weird if the entire 13th was just in 4 patches. At the same time, it feels like they're making it too obvious to be 7.0. And obviously, I think something's gonna happen in our journeys there. But what? But doing it this way, doing like little forays into it, will let them do it as patch content without having to create like an entire X-Pack's worth of zones. So we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? Oh, the chambers are presently hosting the great amounts of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. And please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduda in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Ajaya. I think I did that right this time. Ajaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Kyra, but my purpose need not consume you as well. You're headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Hey. Crit. Big premonitions. I already like these guys. Like, they're big villains, but they don't feel like weird, like, super serious villains. It's very, very anime. It's very much, this is, Sailor Moon World of Darkness kind of villain, which I enjoy. I wonder if this is going to be Xenos's Reaper shade that he made a contract with. It's the only thing that I can think of that would make sense, given the scythe and all. But who knows? Creepy, creepy.
Unless I am returned. To this world, bereft of saviors.
Hey. Nice. Alright. So, yeah. That was fun. Thought that was a very, very a good introduction to whatever might come next. Like I said, it definitely feels a lot less serious, which is nice. I mean, it is and it isn't, if that makes sense. But after the roller coaster of Shadowbringers and Endwalker, it's kind of nice to have something just a little more anime, but still has, you know, those little bits of fun and the heartwarming stuff. So I'm gonna go eat. I'm starving. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the MSQ. I obviously will be streaming quite a bit more now that we have a new patch, new content to run. I'm gonna do the AR after the stream's done, but I mean, I'll be doing it on stream eventually. I just won't do the blind run because, again, I'm hungry. But yeah, I hope you guys have fun with the patch, and if you're coming back and watching this later on the VOD, which I don't blame you. You know, you got to go and enjoy it for yourself first, right? I do hope you have a good time with it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here, put this stuff in there, and then kind of go from there. But thanks a ton for watching. It's great to be back in the game and having fun with it again. And yeah, if you guys like the content and want to see when I'm going live next, and just want to see other video content, since obviously I do the long form stuff every now and then too, again, hit the subscribe button, give the page a like, all the standard YouTube marketing stuff. But yeah, you guys have a good rest of the week, and I will see you guys next time. All right, have a good one.